We're the travel hacking teachers, and for the last 5 years, we've been working and raising our family overseas. Just before the world took a pause from traveling, our family had started a tour of the United Arab Emirates. In the last few episodes, our family visited the wooden boats of Dalma Island, watched crabs at the Mangrove Park in Abu Dhabi, learned the history of the ancient tombs in Al Ain, drank Arabic coffee at a Bedouin camp in Ras Al Khaimah, and made s'mores while camping in Wadi Shaka. Today, we leave Dubai and head to Sharjah in search of camels and sand dunes.
Today, we are taking advantage again of the UAE off-road book, and we are on Route 11, which is El Bateah to Ras Al Khaimah, going down these back roads through the desert. So it should be a lot of fun, and hopefully we'll see some cool stuff, some wildlife.
Cruise through the wadi, maybe see some camels, and maybe some date palms.
All right, let's take a closer look at the book, and then we'll head on our way down the path, Route 11. We typed in the GPS coordinates provided here in the book, and we essentially followed this route. Now, there is some cool playgrounds and parks here that might be worth checking out on your visit. And we, right now, are just in this area here, where the pavement has turned into the gravel. So we're going to continue this route all the way around and just sort of see the sights as we work our way down Route 11. So it goes all the way down to the finish line over here.
Always a good sign when you see camel tracks.
Alright, so that desert drive was pretty amazing on Route 11, definitely filled with all types of camels. I will say my comfort level with our low riding Honda CRV, that kind of loose sand pushed our car to its limit. I wouldn't want to go a whole lot more off of the beaten path with our car. I can see where something like a bigger four-wheel drive vehicle would be a little bit better out here once you get off the beaten path. But ultimately what we ended up doing, there's a whole lot of routes out through that desert. So we ended up off of Route 11 looking for the harder packed sand. And we ended up in this pretty cool little village. And there's this nice looking fort right here. But I think I know where we are based on the map, and we're gonna head over to the Camel Racetrack next to see if there's any action over there. So the Camel Racetrack is definitely worth a stop. It is about 1:45 in the afternoon, so we're past any sort of real peak training for running. But just off in the foreground are kind of herders and their camels and their teams. It's very cool to see, and we're gonna drive over where we saw a bunch of teams and their camels. But just to give you an idea, the sense of the area, the racetrack is huge, and it is right out in the middle of the desert. So it's definitely, if you're gonna follow Route 11, it's worth your time to head north to the Camel Racetrack just to see the sights and what's around. If you get here in the morning, I think you'll see a lot more action on the actual races. Okay, so just behind the Camel Racetrack, we came across all these camels, and there's a bunch of caretakers just resting out of the hot sun. The guys were really great that we talked to, just by giving a little bit of Arabic. Hello, mahaba, really opens the door and breaks the ice. And although the gentlemen who are caretaking for the camels didn't speak very much English, just the little gestures on our part opened up the door, and they let us come and see their camels. It was really, really great. And it was just a nice time. We took photos together. Just making that effort really goes a long way for people and makes everyone feel just comfortable to get recorded. So that's just a little tip if you're going to be doing recording yourself. It's just the small gestures of hello and some gratitude goes a long way. And we got to enjoy these beautiful camels, and we are right behind the big mosque and the Camel Racetrack. So if you're on Route 11, it is definitely worth your time to come up here and see the sights. And if you get here in the morning, there's a lot more action on the track. So it's 2 o'clock now, so it's a bit hot. But either way, back to Route 11. Wanted to talk about the CRV. Right now the CRV is doing really well because this road is very well graded. But earlier, when we were going through that soft sand, there were definitely a few spots where it felt like we were going to get stuck. So just driving kind of a consistent speed, not slowing down even though we were kind of sliding a little bit, that really pushed the CRV to the limits. For desert driving, having a better four-wheel vehicle may suit you better, but again, if all you have is a CRV, boop.
Look, we got a little friend.
Yeah, the CRV will do okay. Hi. So we have officially come to the end of Route 11 from the Off-Road UAE book, and I would say that it's a great route, especially if you're looking for camels out in the desert, some introduction to dune bashing, a little bit of off-road.
Lots of goats and date farms and ghaf trees and some cool ecosystems.
For me, the best part of the route was from E88 to E55. That's from the start to basically that main road that takes you up to the Camel Racetrack. That was really where you were out in the desert, and we came across so many more camels. Once you cross over,
Then it's more sand dunes, but in between we took that little side route up to the camel track, and it was totally worth it. It was great. We met some really nice guys, and they let us touch the camels and take pictures, and they were super kind.
so if you're wanting to see camels, definitely consider Route 11 from the Off-Road UAE book. And if you like what you saw here today, do consider subscribing and hitting the bell notification so you can stay up to date on all of our latest episodes, including more road trips throughout the UAE.